What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of JoesTech. Today we're going to be taking a look at a new case from Raidmax. It just came out a couple months ago. And again, if you guys have seen one of my previous case reviews, obviously you might know that I'm a big fan of tempered glass and, of course, obviously a big fan of RGB. And, you know, I kind of think this case hit a lot of those key points while also being still very functional, which obviously is kind of key. And again, I always kind of mention when I look at a case that I really am a fan of. So without giving away too much info, why don't we go ahead and dive into it, and I'll show you guys what it looks like, and then we can recap all my thoughts at the end. As many of you have probably seen, there's a shift occurring in aesthetics when it comes to modern cases. Rather than just your typical mid-tower with an open interior, we're seeing desires from case manufacturers to really give more for less. I think this is exactly what Raidmax provided with their Alpha Prime chassis. On the outside of the case, we see not only one but two tempered glass panels. The first fastened to the viewing side by 4 thumb screws and the typical rubber grommet mounts. Its panel is also lined with a black bezel, which is helpful for hiding fingerprints and the mounting edge of the case. Much smaller in surface area, we find a second tempered glass panel neatly fastened into the front bezel. I would really caution you to take out this tempered glass panel prior to removing the front bezel, though, because I did notice a good amount of flex in the front panel, which would probably cause the glass to break, and the last thing we all want to do is have a million pieces of tempered glass inside our build. Since we do have a large front panel, airflow has been routed to the sides and bottom of the front bezel. Along with the side channels, we can also see Raidmax has gone with a more minimalist design and tucked their dual USB 3.0 ports along with their audio jacks on one side, while placing power, reset, and indicator lights on the opposite. One thing I did notice that did stick out a little bit is that the power button and reset button have a longer compression followed by a loud click. It would have been nice to see a soft click button here, but obviously that's not really a deal breaker. At the top and bottom of the case, we see removable dust filters, the top being magnetic while the bottom is just held in by tabs. One key piece we do see missing here is that there's no dust filtration for the front bezel of the case. For cooling, Raidmax has included 3 of their 120mm RGB fans at the front of the case and 1 non-RGB 120mm fan at the rear for exhaust. If you decide to populate the case with additional fans, the top of the case supports up to 320mm fans or dual 140mm fans. To spice things up a little bit, Raidmax has also included an Rgb Controller, which allows you to control the color and various modes, including shutting them off completely. One thing I am a big fan of in this case is the potential for storage, which I feel like is one of those things that a lot of companies sacrifice when it comes to aesthetics. As we saw, there is a 5 1/4 inch drive bay at the top front of the case, but this tray also comes pre-drilled for dual 2.5 inch SSDs. If you have no need for this, the mounting tray can also be removed to allow a more open concept build or allow a radiator sized up to 360mm at the front of the case. Moving to the back of the case, Raidmax included dual SSD trays that attach to the back of the motherboard tray, as well as a drive cage for fitment of dual 3.5 inch drives. Despite my terrible cable management skills for this demonstration, there's plenty of room provided for a clean cable management job thanks to the shroud that runs parallel with the motherboard's vertical edge. So as you guys can see, the Raidmax has put together a great quality case, obviously, that has the aesthetics and has the features that some of you guys may need. And I know I said these same words several times before, and the reason kind of there is because there's a lot of manufacturers out there and there's a lot of people that have great ideas, and obviously you know, maybe each case doesn't hit everybody's sweet spot, but of course each case that's made has a specific use, and you know, if it's a good quality build, which I believe that this case is, it's gonna be the right fit for somebody out there. So if you're somebody that really does want to have like a nice showpiece quality case, and also wants to have like a lot of storage without completely destroying your budget, I think this is a really great fit. Now, one thing that would be nice to see is if we could somehow get rid of this controller and maybe get some type of centralized hardware controller that connected via USB like some of the other controllers we've seen. Obviously, if the case is going to get provided with the RGB fans, I'm glad that they provided us some way to control the effects and the colors and all that good stuff, but it would be nice as like an upgrade maybe down the road. Hopefully Raidmax might have something like that in the works, but again, I'm not sure. If you guys think I missed anything in this video, or if you guys would like to see anything else from Raidmax in the future, don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you think. course, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Of course, if you want to see more videos like this in the future, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And of course, a big thanks to Raidmax for sending us this case for review to take a look at and see what our options are out there. Until next time, guys, this has been JoesTech. I'll see you in the next video.